It's Capital Pride Weekend in Washington, D.C. It's a celebration of gay pride and culture. And for many in mainstream America, this is what life as a gay person looks like. Young, carefree, and wild. But what happens when the years go by and gay men and lesbians grow old? They seem to disappear.
I am Cedric Allen Burgess. I am 58 years old and gay and black and proud.
Burgess is one of the estimated 1.5 million gay elders in America. He says that for many older gay people, life can become isolated.
Because there's not much social life when you get older and gay. It's like, I want to say, I hate to say it, I don't know, it seems like when you get older and you're gay, it just becomes that nobody wants you.
Burgess is retired and lives by himself in his Washington, D.C. apartment. He has HIV. His partner of 10 years died of AIDS.
When you're young, you go to bars, what have you, you can have a good time. When you get older and you go to bars, you're sometimes finding yourself sitting with nobody. Sometimes it's even snickers, you know, like look at the old fogey. It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
Say hi, guys.
Burgess is not giving in into the isolation that plagues many gay people in their older age. For one, his birds give him constant companionship.
I stay in touch with my friends. I stay in touch with my family. I keep my mind occupied with volunteering and reaching out myself. And it helps me.
Isolation is just one of the many special challenges facing gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people as they age.
Visibility is key because until people realize older LGBT folks are out there, it's hard for I think, the community to get the broader population to care about the issues affecting LGBT older adults because they're totally invisible.
Kimberly Acquaviva is a professor at the George Washington University and studies issues of aging in the LGBT community.
So you layer the invisibility of LGBT folks with the invisibility of elders, and there's this double invisibility. Layer on top of that homophobia and heterosexism. Not only are folks invisible, but many folks in the general population don't really care about LGBT elders because of homophobia or heterosexism. They don't see them, but they don't want to see them.
For Patty Grossman, a lesbian in her 50s, the problem of invisibility for older LGBT people is generational.
I think that it goes back to that person and their feeling about being invisible. Because back in the 30s and the 40s, those people were invisible to themselves.
Grossman is a retired art teacher living in Wheaton, Maryland. In her spare time, Grossman volunteers for SAGE, a nonprofit dedicated to helping older LGBT adults. Grossman says it's a struggle to reach out to aging LGBT people.
And that's one of the biggest problems that we have today is these elderly, gay, lesbian people in our culture that there are services for, but we don't know how to reach them because they don't reach out into the community.
Ken South is a baby boomer. He's 64 years old and gay and is confident that his generation will be more outspoken about getting recognition.
My generation was the anti-war generation, was the generation that supported women's liberation, women's rights, and gay rights movement all came out, in the late 70s and late 60s and early 70s. And so we're used to doing social change.
Through his work at a Washington nonprofit that focuses on HIV/AIDS care, South gets to interact with experts in the area of aging.
As I said to people at AARP, I said, the GLBT population, that's the older GLBT population, guys in their 70s and 80s, who are now members of AARP, you're probably not going to hear from. But my generation won't, put up with it any longer. We expect to be treated as, full citizens and expect to be full members and be treated respectfully as an older gay person.
It appears that older LGBT adults are fighting an internal struggle for recognition within their own community and an external struggle with the rest of America.